Villanova and North Carolina, familiar matchup in the NCAA tournament. 7th meeting in the tournament all time between these two great programs. Let's join Jim Nantz for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad. The presentation of the colors is provided by the Joint Services Color Guard. And now please welcome to the court local retired and active duty military members signifying each of the 5 branches of our United States military. Holding the stars are representatives from the Army, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and the Air Force. And now representing the United States Navy, please welcome retired Navy Petty Officer First Class General Wilson for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, the two teams have a very tough act to follow after that version of the national anthem. Wow.
Fantastic, just fantastic. You know, you mentioned about tough acts to follow. North Carolina, in a way, has had a little bit of a break in this tournament. They have not played a #1 seed, a 2 seed, 3 seed, or a 4 seed. The best they played is the 5 seed, Indiana.
I mentioned a lot of history between these two schools in the NCAA tournament, including in the national semifinal in 2009 in Detroit. A one-sided win for North Carolina led by Ty Lawson. When Villanova won the national championship in '85, they defeated North Carolina in the regional final on their way to Lexington, Kentucky, and the Final Four. The lights coming down in preparation for there's not a problem with your set, folks, for the national anthem, or rather the starting lineups after that compelling national anthem. Many of the folks in the crowd turning on the flashlights on their cell phones. The view from above, that's the Astrodome in the bottom of your picture, where Villanova played the national title game and lost to UCLA in 1971. Gorgeous night here in the city of Houston, and Dick, it's been a great host once again for the Final Four.
You know, I mentioned 71. Villanova was led by Chris Ford, Howard Porter.
We're ready now to meet tonight's championship game starting lineups.
It is championship night in Houston, Texas.
will be playing in the championship game. How about the leadership of the bench? These two coaches, just giants. Unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game. North Carolina against Villanova in the championship game. Here we go. What promises to be a special night.
Making their third national championship game appearance and first since 1985, here are the Villanova Wildcats.
Being here seems like the perfect moment. It's impossible not to feel the energy. It's everything.
So welcome to the show. Bring on all the lights. Let it shine on you. We're together here tonight. Welcome to my life.
Oh, yes. Here he is again. He's unbelievable. Pure zone right now. Villanova's pouring it on.
So welcome to the show.
And a foul. What a look by Arch. Brilliant performance by the Wildcats.
Welcome to the show.
Starting tonight for the Villanova Wildcats. At forward, a 6'6" junior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, number 2, Chris Jenkins. At forward, a 6'11" senior from Baltimore, Maryland, number 23, Daniel Ochefu. Guard, a 6'5" junior from Silver Spring, Maryland, number 3, Josh Hart. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, number 15, Ryan Archie Diacono. At guard, a 6'2" freshman from Lincolnshire, Illinois, number 1, Jalen Brunson. Making their 10th national championship game appearance. They are the 5-time national champions. Here are the North Carolina Tar Heels.
When we step across that line, it's got to be all business. Let's just make sure when we come back in the locker room, don't have anything left and no regrets.
Barry, up ahead they go. And Jackson slams it down.
I have been waiting.
How about that? Oh, wow. Benson.
For you to find.
Great dish. Page hits from the outside.
This could be
Oh, by Johnson.
be us tonight.
Carolina is not going to be stopped.
Starting tonight for the North Carolina Tar Heels. At forward, a 6'10" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 3, Kennedy Meeks. At forward, a 6'10" senior from Orangeburg, South Carolina, number 11, Bryce Johnson. At forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Tomball, Texas, number 44, Justin Jackson. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore from Apopka, Florida, number 2, Joel Berry II. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Marion, Iowa, number 5, Marcus Page. And introducing the head coaches for Villanova in his 15th season for the Wildcats, coaching in his 32nd NCAA tournament game, Jay Wright. North Carolina in his 13th season for the Tar Heels and coaching his 94th NCAA tournament game,
Wildcats are in the national title game for the first time since 1985. The 10th title game in North Carolina history will be Monday night.
2 remain. Only 1 will celebrate. The Final Four in Houston.
North Carolina trying to win its 6th national championship in men's basketball. Villanova its 2nd. We're ready to go with Villanova. Daniel Chefu dressed in blue, and North Carolina in white with the Tar Heel blue trim. Marcus Page hoping to end one of the great careers in North Carolina history with a national championship. And the same is true of Brian Arcidiacono of Villanova, 4-year captain.
Tell you one thing.
Chip game here by virtue of their great grades from their supervisors all season long. We congratulate Michael Stevens, who will throw the ball in the air with John Higgins and Terry Weimer. Bryce Johnson, Daniel Ochefu to get it started.
Tell you one thing, remember, if this game comes to the wire, Villanova's a great free throw shooting team.
And Jalen Brunson, the freshman, right off the tip, right to the basket, missed an easy shot.
Showed their aggressiveness right out of the start. Initially going right to the rack, had a layup, missed it.
Justin Jackson hits the deck, and a kick ball is called against Jackson. So the ball goes over to Villanova. Shaky start for both sides. An easy shot missed by Brunson, and a sloppy turnover by Jackson.
You know, Sean, you think about defense at Villanova, how tenacious they've been. They're allowing only 69 points a game. But remember, they shut down Perry Ellis in Kansas. Then they really absolutely annihilated Oklahoma and Buddy Hield.
Arcidiacono down low. Looks like he's trying to post up Joel Berry. Missed the shot, went after it, and was the last of touches and went out of bounds.
Remember this, they're shooting 58% in the tournament. 71.4 against Oklahoma. Unbelievable.
North Carolina will be a tough test for that Villanova defense tonight. They average 83 points per game, 10th most in the country. And again, understandable, Dick. Both teams look jittery here in the opening minute.
That's a good point right there, Sean. There's a lot of emotion, you know, really so much at stake right now. Being the best of the best tonight, one of these teams.
Jackson playing in his native Texas. He's from about 40 miles away in Tomball, Texas. Joel Berry off to the baseline. Kennedy Meeks short with the jumper. And a good rebound in traffic by Josh Hart.
And that's one of the dilemmas from North Carolina, making deep shots.
Chris Jenkins got stuck in the air underneath the basket, threw it away to Justin Jackson. Joel Berry for 3.
That's good news for North Carolina, people. If they start making some perimeter shots, it stretches the defense, and they'll be able to get the ball inside to Johnson and Meeks. That's big, big start right there by North Carolina.
Ochefu, nice pass. Chris Jenkins sliding to the bucket. First basket for Villanova comes nearly a minute and a half in.
What I like about Jenkins, he moves so well without the ball. Ochefu with a great look, 2-man game.
Page struggled to shoot from 3-point range most of the year, but has really picked it up lately. Out of bounds, last touch by Josh Hart of Villanova.
Ochefu's going to need a lot of help on the inside against the size of North Carolina. Remember this about Meeks. Meeks has shot 11 for 13 in the last 2 games, and nobody talks about him.
Page, a little floater that popped out. Blocking foul, the call underneath the basket. Chris Jenkins of Villanova called for his first foul.
As Page with the drive. He's an outstanding free throw shooter, one of the best in the history of North Carolina.
84.5% for his career for Marcus Page. That's number 3 in North Carolina history. A little bit down from that, though, this year. 77.5% for the senior from Marion, Iowa. 3 times the team captain. Only player in the illustrious history of North Carolina basketball who can make that claim.
Tell you one thing, you said it earlier, and you were so right. He really struggled shooting the ball in the middle of the year. He picked it up in tournament play.
1 out of 2 for Marcus Page. Two-time winner of the Skip Prosser Award as the Scholar Athlete of the Year in the ACC. Hart.
Nice matchup. Jackson playing Hart. Hart was sensational against Oklahoma.
He had 23, including 15 in the first half. Archie Diacono gets one to drop, and we're tied at 4.
What a winner he is. He's just a flat-out winner. They made him a captain as a freshman. Unbelievable.
Pressure in the backcourt. Barry got through it, and Bryce Johnson threw up a wild shot at the rim.
Challenged on the inside. One thing about Villanova, man, they are street tough. They're going to come after you aggressively on a defensive end.
Villanova's won 5 in a row, obviously, and 10 of their last 11. The only loss in the Big East Conference Tournament final to Seton Hall. Archie Diacono with the first 3 of the night for the Nova Cats.
Say one thing, he can play for me any day of the week, that kid. There's certain kids that have that winner's ability, and he has that. Look at the play right there defensively.
Pulls up for another 3. That won't drop, and Bryce Johnson has the rebound.
So far, Villanova's done a good job keeping the ball away from the interior.
And that's what they worked on a lot yesterday. Don't let it get inside, and a lot of times you can see it there. They were fronting the post. There's a 3 for Justin Jackson. They'll do a lot of that tonight, Dick. Try to stand in front of those North Carolina low post players.
Yeah, they want to deny him the ball, but I think good news for North Carolina. I'll tell you, Sean, they made 2 threes already in this game, and that's very unique for them.
Yeah, they missed their first 12 last night, or rather Saturday night. Villanova turns it over again. Then they hit 4 of their last 5 threes in their win over Syracuse.
There's Jackson right there. He's playing his home city. And then Archie Diacono battle. There he is right there, squaring his body. Great rotation, good follow through. And we're going to watch the drive. Triple rep position. He drives to the goal, pulls up, makes the layup.
Archie Diacono, the leader of that Wildcat team. Jay Wright says he really rarely has to talk to Archie Diacono. He has such a great basketball mind and understanding for what the coaches want. Jackson didn't get the drop. Then Ochefu the rebound.
Ochefu did a great job in that possession, keeping Meeks from posting up on the inside, beat him to the basketball.
4 minutes in, tied at 7. Archie Diacono the miss. And racing to save it, Jenkins. Then it's taken back by Barry.
They like to run, North Carolina. They like to get in transition.
Page missed a shorty, got it back, and then he was fouled. And that's 2 on Chris Jenkins. Early foul trouble for Villanova. Week and even bigger tonight now that they are going head-to-head. Nate Britt's parents, the legal guardian for Chris Jenkins, they are brothers. And right now Jenkins on the bench with 2 fouls, a big early development. Marcus Page, no, and Isaiah Hicks off the bench with the offensive rebound and score. First points in the paint tonight for North Carolina.
Well, that's their strength on the offensive boards. What a great love story right there with the Jenkins family and the Britt family. Unbelievable.
And we're told that Chris Jenkins' birth parents are here tonight as well. Archie Diacono again trying to back in Barry, clearly by design. That time it worked.
I think one thing, he's excellent around the basket. He's trying to utilize the ability to post up on Barry and doing it very, very well.
He was listed at 3 inches taller than Barry. Archie Diacono probably generously listed at 6'3". Barry an even 6 feet tall.
Seems to know what he's doing down when he gets in that post. So far, North Carolina 2 for 2 shooting the 3 ball.
And that's huge because Villanova's done a good job denying the ball from getting inside. Out of bounds last touched by Villanova. Just 3 seconds to shoot for the Tar Heels.
Well, what they've done so far, he's coming back in the game right now. Bryce Johnson hasn't been able to be effective inside. He's a double-double guy. He's got 23 double-doubles in his career. Broke a school record at North Carolina.
3 to shoot. They're trying to lob it inside. That was well guarded by Villanova. Page. Then Hicks the tip that wouldn't go. And the rebound corralled by Hart. One of the best rebounding guards in the country. 6.7 rebounds per game.
What I love about him, he's so versatile. It's being played by Jackson right now. Has a little size on him. When Hart can go inside, outside, he can make the 3.
He was wide open for 3. His shot way off. Mikal Bridges just in off the bench. Couldn't save it.
Tell you what, Bridges can become a key player. His size is going to be needed here to help Ochefu on the inside.
Versatile role player. 6'7", he can defend guards. He can also defend big men inside. Berry wears the number 2 for his dad. You heard during the lineups, he's Joel Berry II.
Came from Orlando, and he's really been one of the most improved players in America this year. From last year, came on strong a little bit at the end of the year last year. Picked it up this year, his second year at North Carolina.
3 times Mr. Basketball in the state of Florida in high school. His freshman year last year diminished by a groin injury. He's had a terrific sophomore year. The pass to Nate Brett, Chris Jenkins' brother, into the game, missing his first shot.
Tell you what, Brett coming off the bench, Hicks off the bench, usually solid contributors for North Carolina. Pace of the game right now really edge Villanova. The tempo they would like. North Carolina really wants to get up and down this floor.
Ochefu probably tired of hearing about the advantage that North Carolina would have inside. A nifty move by the senior from Baltimore, playing in his last game at Villanova.
There he is, big, strong post, got him one-on-one inside. Nice little turnaround shot. He was also sensational against Kansas. They don't win that game if he doesn't make 2 unbelievable post moves when they were down 5 with his left hand.
Some tempers flaring. The officials in there trying to calm everybody down.
Well, how good looking is this guy? He looks like an actor, man. As Roy Williams, always dressed really sharp. Hart and Jackson going at it. Look at Hart and Jackson right in the middle there. See that? Oh, they're going at it.
And that continued well after the whistle. And the official stepped in. Villanova by 2, going to a trapping defense.
A little soft trap. Fall back inside, trying to take a team out of their rhythm.
Hicks, a tough shot.
They're playing them tough inside. A lot better than a lot of the so-called quote-unquote experts have felt.
Yeah, they have an 8-2 edge, this Villanova, and points in the paint. That's unheard of against North Carolina.
They lead the nation.
Hart, another open 3. Josh Hart, the junior from Silver Spring, Maryland. And here comes the trap again.
How good has he been in this tournament? And a little trap, you want to go a little 2-1-2 against it. Post somebody up high. Then they fall back in a man-to-man.
Villanova fans engaged and then quieted on the dunk and a foul. Bryce Johnson.
That's North Carolina basketball. Bring the ball inside to the double-double guy, Mr. Johnson, an All-American. There he is, little 2-man game. They throw a lob over the top, and there's the advantage of that size, Sean. There's a little look right up there. Great lob, great catch, and the finish. Slam, bam, jam, Mr. Johnson, BJ.
North Carolina loves that high-low action. Villanova worked a lot against it yesterday. Johnson, the free throw. Bridges, the foul, is first.
North Carolina got a little full pressure.
Jay Wright in that high-low situation, Dick, wants the defender guarding the ball up high to really get right up on the passer and try to take his vision away to make that pass difficult. It wasn't on that last play for North Carolina.
Absolutely. Most coaches, that's what you want to teach. Really harass the passer.
Hart fell down, nearly traveled, but did not. Jalen Brunson. Now Phil Booth in off the bench, dribbling back and forth. And a whistle with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And Villanova seemingly going nowhere in that possession. Bailed out by Theo Pinson's foul. Ochefu will return for Josh Hart.
I think he might be one of the most valuable players right now tonight because of the size factor of North Carolina. Ochefu's going to have his A game, both offensively and defensively.
So a full shot clock after the foul, which was the first of the night against North Carolina. Brunson into Bridges, redshirt freshman.
Tell you what, Villanova's got a nice bench too. When you bring in guys like certainly Booth, and you got guys like Bridges, Reynolds.
There's Bridges, redshirted behind some good players last year, took advantage to add a little strength in the weight room. Booth had a very nice night last night against Oklahoma. Then again, who didn't for Villanova? Hand check. You can't do that. That's a point of emphasis this year. Hands on the dribbler. supposed to be called every time. First foul on Marcus Page.
They're going to watch right here. They're going to get the ball into Mr. Johnson. A little slam jam. Bam. Up, up, and away. Bryce Johnson.
Tribute to him. There were some reports earlier that he may not make it today. His health hasn't been great. His wife, Mary Jane, under the weather with respiratory issues. She couldn't make it. But Roley's here with Dwayne McClain alongside. Jay Wright's family, wife Patty in front. And Michael Jordan. Everywhere you look tonight,
wow.
There's a great player. That might be the greatest player of all time.
Wow, was he special. Michael the Magnificent, when he played for North Carolina, hit that shot in '82 to win Dean Smith his first national championship when he beat the Hoyas of Georgetown. He was a freshman, a diaper dandy.
Villanova ball up by 2, more than 8 minutes played. Sean McDonough, Dick Vitale, delighted to have you with us from Houston, Texas. College basketball's national championship game for 2016. Phil Booth to Daniel Ochefu, guarded by Bryce Johnson. Booth is open. And that's a 3 for Phil Booth, the sophomore from Baltimore.
You know, Sean, you said he was productive against Oklahoma. It really looked good, even though it was a blowout. Should have had the mercy rule, but he's, oh, there it is inside again.
Bryce Johnson.
Lack of communication by Villanova. They throw a diagonal pass and they get a layup.
Booth had 10 points Saturday night against Oklahoma. He averages under 7 per game.
I thought you had about 14 too in that game. I mean, everybody scored. It was an absolute humiliation by 44.
And a big rise up for Booth. He hadn't scored in double figures in any of the previous 10 games. Archie Diacono probes the lane with Nate Britt tightly on him. And another North Carolina foul, the third of the half, against the Tar Heels. It's on Nate Britt, his first.
Archie Diacono created that. Little penetration. He sees a little opening, a gap in the defense. He attacks. He gets fouled. And remember this, Villanova, second best free throw shooting team in the USA. They can really flat out stroke it at the foul line.
Only Connecticut was better from the stripe. Jay Wright and his staff spent a lot of time in practice working on free throw technique. They also try to create pressure situations in practice. Hard to simulate the pressure of shooting a free throw in a national championship game. Jalen Brunson, second straight baseline inbound play. They had a little trouble getting it in.
Just threw the ball over the top. They couldn't execute any plays.
Brunson bumped by Bryce Johnson. That's his first.
He looked frustrated on that call. He's going to let it go. He bumped him. He bumped him. They're going to call that. They're going to call that. They've been told there's the bump. He stepped in. There's no doubt about it. I got one eye and I could see that. Come on, Bryce. You're better than that. Can't bone in that one, baby.
John Higgins the call, his 7th, final 4. Terry Weimer working his 3rd. Michael Stevens his 4th.
You know, credit North Carolina making them throw the ball all the way deep, 2 possessions in a row from the baseline where they like to execute a play, can't get it.
Brunson, the son of Rick Brunson, who starred at Temple and played in the NBA. Ochefu there for the flush.
Ochefu says, hey, I'm tired of hearing about all those big guys. I'm tired of hearing about Johnson and Meeks. What about me? What about me? You're going to star. This is the stage to star on. So far, Meeks has been really negated. Totally. 11 for 13 in the last 2 games. Ochefu played him tough.
They got it into him, and he scored over Ochefu.
He must have hurt us. He must have hurt us. I'll show those guys. Kennedy Meeks, 11 for 13 in his last 2 games.
He's at a very nice tournament. Injured a lot of the year. One reason why North Carolina's played better lately, his return to health. Hart. Quick ball movement, reminiscent of yesterday. Brunson missed the 3. Snatched out of the air by Bryce Johnson.
A big-time rebound by Bryce Johnson. I'm going to tell you this, though. Villanova's doing a great job keeping North Carolina away from transition.
Justin Jackson for 3.
They had a size advantage inside, a little mismatch, but he shoots the 3, and they'll take that. That's 3 threes for them thus far, and that's big for North Carolina. Tar Heel fans get up in jubilation.
Tied at 19. Booth nearly traveled. Roy Williams thought he did. Hart in traffic. Nice shot by Josh Hart. Unanimous first team All Big East Conference this season.
He makes big plays. He's the guy that gives you momentum. When it looks like you're struggling, he comes up with a big play.
Ooh. Hart ran into some traffic. Marcus Page, they're 4 out of 6 from behind the three-point arc.
Hey, what about the book that says they can't shoot the three? Hey, throw the book out, baby. This is for the gold trophy. This is for a national title. Marcus Page can shoot the rock.
8-2 North Carolina run to reclaim the lead after they trailed by 5. Hart, tough turnaround from the baseline.
Every time they need a basket, where do they go? Josh Hart.
He's one of the 15 finalists for the John Wooden Award, one of the awards that goes to the National Player of the Year. Congratulations to Jay Wright, yesterday named the Naismith National Coach of the Year, as Buddy Hield won the Player of the Year in the Naismith. Joel Berry buries a 3.
Hey, what's going on, man? Throw out the scouting report. North Carolina now with 5 trifectas, and the book says that's not their strength.
That's one more than they had all of last night when they went 4 for 17 from beyond the arc against Syracuse. They're the worst three-point shooting team in Carolina history. Jackson might have deflected that shot by Hart. They're still tangled up.
Tell you one thing, that should open it up for the interior, because it makes the defense extend themselves.
Jackson, the floater, and the tip try by Kennedy Meeks. 3 Wildcats hit the deck, bodies flying, no whistles, and immediate timeout. Well, after a dud of a national semifinal doubleheader Saturday night, scintillating action here in Houston tonight.
Take a look right now, North Carolina. They are letting the 3-ball fly. There's Mr. Jackson, JJ. And then we're going to see another one, Mr. Marcus Page, who's known to shoot the trifecta. And then Mr. Berry says, for you two guys can do it, I can as well. Joel Berry with a trifecta.
North Carolina leading by 2. Big surprise, the effective three-point shooting of North Carolina. Been a weakness all season long.
5 for 7, really doing a great job. They got 8 assists on 9 baskets as well, sharing the basketball well. I'm going to tell you a key stat that jumps at me. For 14 minutes in a game, North Carolina has not put Villanova on the free throw line.
Roy Williams' team for the year averages 5.5 made three-point field goals per game. They have 5 already with 6:45 to go in the first half.
3 different guys made them.
Marcus Page guarded by Ryan Arcidiacono. Isaiah Hicks moving screen. Another point of emphasis this year. First foul on Hicks, the 5th team foul on the Tar Heels.
Villanova got a tough break early, getting 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes on one of the star players, Chris Jenkins,
who is back in the game now as Jalen Brunson goes out.
If I'm North Carolina, I'm going to attack him. Wherever he's on the floor, we're going to take the ball out of bounds and attack Jenkins. He's so important to this team, the way he can shoot the basketball. Great free throw shooter.
Jenkins, the pump fake. Hicks got back into position. Darrell Reynolds also in off the bench for Villanova, number 45, an interior player. Page had to just slip out of his hands. 4 North Carolina turnovers.
What a brilliant student athlete. He truly represents the term student athlete. Marcus Page gave a very emotional speech in his last game at North Carolina. Touched everyone.
3-time academic All-American. Just the 3rd in ACC history, and you have to go back to Tom McMillan of Maryland and Mike Jaminski from Duke. Good hands by Page as Hart tried to back him in, and Marcus poked it away.
They got a mismatch inside. Look at Meeks. Look at Meeks right now, a mismatch. Get him the ball.
Barry scores with the one hand along the right edge of the lane. Yeah, they've been playing Archie Diacono underneath the bucket, and a couple of times he's been guarding a much bigger man.
He's so tough. You see how he tries to front him? North Carolina has not been able to get him the ball that easily.
Archie Diacono off to Jenkins. The pull up from 17 feet. Chris Jenkins.
I tell you, he's one of those kids, when he shoots the ball, you feel it's got a great chance it's going to go in. He has a terrific stroke.
He had 18 points and 8 rebounds last night. In their Saturday night, rather, in their win against Oklahoma. Another Carolina turnover. They averaged just 10.8 turnovers per game. That is the fewest by any North Carolina team since that stat was first recorded back in the 1981-82 season. They don't turn it over often. Jenkins, what a difference he's made since coming back in with the 2 fouls.
See, I would take the ball right now wherever Jenkins is after the half-court trap. They rotate back into a man. You're going to attack him. Get him on the bench. He's got 2 fouls.
Right now he's guarding Marcus Page away from the bucket. Justin Jackson, no. Off the floor to Hart, who took a bump from Isaiah Hicks. His 2nd foul and the team's 6th, one away from the bonus.
Take a look why the value of Jenkins. You're going to see him right here. Maybe it's a good pump fake. And there's the jump shot. Does a great job getting free. Creates space with the ball fake. Then he's going to post up a little on the inside and attack the rim. He can score in a variety of ways. He's very versatile. I like his game, Sean. I really like Jenkins' game.
The young man has worked hard to get in shape. For a while his extra weight and lack of conditioning held him back. Whoa, little touch foul on Marcus Page, his 2nd, and that puts North Carolina over the limit with 4:08 to go in the half.
All the Villanova kids, you watch when they catch the ball, they immediately go into a triple threat with a ball fake. Watch this. See, there's the ball fake. The ball fake gets them up in the air. Every one of their players, I noticed, when they catch the ball, immediately triple threat with that ball fake. Now we saw Rolly Massimino a little bit earlier. He came over, took a picture with us as well. And Rolly, a terrific guy, a cancer survivor, just a great, great person. But I always felt that his performance in '85, that was the best performance of any team in a Final Four, the way they shot the ball 22 for 28. And I also believe, and I said on SportsCenter earlier today, the 2nd best I ever witnessed was Villanova against Oklahoma. That performance was off the charts, shooting 71.4%, and their defensive effort was superb.
Phil Booth made the first Villanova free throw of the night. Kind of a shaky call, though, didn't you think, for Page's 2nd? Villanova didn't attempt a free throw in the first half last night against Oklahoma. They didn't need them. There's only one other game all year long they didn't shoot a first half free throw. That was against Georgetown, the Big East tournament. More pressure, and now it's Villanova by 2 in this tight back and forth championship game.
Against the pressure, he used Bryce Johnson to step to the foul line area.
Joel James said a screen was very nearly moving as he rocked Archie Diacono. Barry, another 3.
I said, forget about throwing the ball to the interior. We're going to show we got perimeter players as well. We hear all about Villanova's perimeter players. But what about us, says Barry and Page.
Barry was 0 for 4 from beyond the arc against Syracuse Saturday night. He's 3 for 3 tonight. 8th lead change of the game, and Joel James called for a bump, and the Tar Heels really getting agitated, and John Higgins a bit demonstrative as he turns back to engage James. First foul on Joel James.
Well, you know, Barry's got the last 8 points. There's the trifecta, the kid from Orlando, Florida. Disney World, baby.
Syracuse missed its first 12 three-point field goal attempts. They finished that game making 4 of the last 5, and they've made 6 of their 8 tonight. So that's 10 out of the last 13 made by North Carolina from three-point range. And what has been the worst three-point shooting team in North Carolina history entering tonight.
Also, they started a game here today, Sean, 4 for 13. Since then, if you really heat it up, but the 3 ball has really saved them because they're not able to get in transition. The tempo of the game right now is exactly what Villanova wants.
Roy Williams trying to win his 3rd national championship, all at Carolina. He was in the title game twice at Kansas in '91 and 2003 and lost both of those.
Tell you what, if he does win his third, he's in select company, man. John Wooden with 10, Coach K with 5. You got Adolph Rupp, the Baron of Kentucky, with 4. Jim Calhoun with 3. The General Robert Montgomery Knight with 3. He would join me, 1 of 6. That puts you in some big-time company.
Roy's already in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield. Daniel Ochefu made 1 out of 2 from the line to tie the game at 30 as we approach 3 minutes left in the first half. Sean McDonough, Dick Vitale at NRG Stadium in Houston. Joel Berry off to a fantastic start. He's 5 out of 6 from the floor, 3 for 3 from three-point range, and leading all scorers with 13 points. He scored the last 10 for North Carolina.
Well, he's got more points now than what he averaged all year long. He averaged 12 a game.
After averaging 4 per game as a freshman. Boy, Ochefu made a great spin move. Wow. I think the officials need to let it go just a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that call was too quick. I tell you, Ochefu made a fantastic move.
Second foul on Bridges. And that was it. There's contact, but you're going to call every bit of contact all night long.
We'll never get out of here.
No. And actually probably hurt North Carolina because they were going to have a numbers advantage as Berry pushed the ball.
Little half-court trap. The ball back into man-to-man. Look at Archie Diacono giving up a lot of size, but he makes up for it with a lot of heart, guts, toughness. Now playing Jackson.
Boy, Booth anticipated that pass for Bryce Johnson.
I was telegraphed. No rhythm right there offensively for North Carolina.
Both of these teams so well coached, but Jay Wright, the deserving National Coach of the Year, that trap, even though, Dick, it isn't really turning North Carolina over, it's causing them to spend more time before they can get into their half-court offense.
And that takes you out of your rhythm.
Right, they have less time to get it inside. Ochefu, good catch and traffic. Then he got called for a travel.
Yeah, no question. No question. A big stat we haven't seen is the fact that North Carolina has not been able to run for life. Anybody guarding him?
That's terrible defense. Boy,
terrible, horrible.
Jay Wright wants a timeout. That's not the way his team plays defense. They've held every opponent in this tournament under 70 points.
Tremendous drive, but nobody rotated over. Nobody cut the layup lane. I'll tell you what, we saw that in the Villanova, Oklahoma game. Oklahoma gave up one layup after another. Look at Berry, scored the last 12 points.
And North Carolina this year is 31-2 when Joel Berry scores in double figures. He already has. They're 2-4 when he does not reach double figures.
Well, he's on fire in this game, man. He's like playing in a playground where he grew up in Orlando. He can do it with the drive. He's becoming a star here tonight. He's becoming a star of stars. What a performance. What a terrific performance by Joel Berry.
Continuation of a great run. He was the MVP of the ACC tournament. The only other North Carolina point guard ever to be the MVP of the ACC tournament was Phil Ford, the great Tar Heel, back in 1975. And the Tar Heel players we've talked to this week, Dick, said that ACC tournament championship really gave them momentum and confidence heading into the NCAA. For a lot of the year, they were answering questions about if they were underachieving or if they were not tough enough. Were they too nice?
Couldn't make shots in the perimeter. They were hearing all that. And they were also hearing a lot of stories about the academic situation, the scandal that's waiting for the NCAA to make a decision as to what's going to transpire. But let's make it very clear. None of these kids were part of that in any shape or form.
Which is why, if they win this title, it's not going to be vacated down the road.
Oh, I don't think so.
Regardless of whether or not they are sanctioned. And Roy Williams has said he doesn't think the basketball program will be punished. Roy Williams trying to win his third national championship as head coach at his alma mater. 2005 the first, 2009 the second.
Joel Berry 15 points, the rest of the club 19. They have such pride and passion in basketball at North Carolina. Franklin Street, if they were to win this, is going to go absolutely bananas, just as the main line would, as the greatest ever lace them up. Michael Jordan, what a miraculous performer he was, especially on the NBA level.
His great friend Ahmad Rashad, an outstanding football star at the University of Oregon and the NFL, alongside Michael Jordan.
I wonder if Michael paid for his ticket. Think he paid for that ticket?
I don't know if he can afford it. Trying for a 6th, which would put North Carolina alone in 3rd all time behind UCLA and Kentucky in men's basketball national championships.
This last minute is big to Villanova. I think it's big to Villanova.
Jalen Brunson. Archie Diacono with 7 points in the first 4.5 minutes and has not scored since.
Jenkins right now, size advantage.
Ochefu guarded by Bryce Johnson. Ochefu banks it home. Nice little jump hook by the senior Ochefu.
He uses the ball fake well, the head fake. I like the way he posts inside. He made those 2 big post moves against Kansas so they don't win that game.
He had 10 points, 8 rebounds in that low-scoring Elite 8 win. Nate Britt, the floater. 1 minute to go in the half. North Carolina by 4.
And if you joined us late, Nate Britt's brother, number 2 for Villanova. Imagine Mom, what she's thinking about.
This is Chris Jenkins, guarded by Theo Pinson.
They got Jackson now on Hart. He's got a size advantage.
Archie Diacono and a moving screen by Ochefu. His first foul.
Take a look right here. Britt, little floater in the lane. Ochefu, I really like the way he plays it up. See that little shoulder fake?
You know, he's an unheralded player, Dick, but he's one of only 4 in Villanova history with 1,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 100 block shots. Another 3. This one from Justin Jackson.
Our threes are flying all over here in Houston. Wow, that's going to make Roy Williams feel good that his club's knocking down the 3 ball. That's not their strength. That's a Villanova strength.
12-3 run makes it the largest lead of the night for either team. Villanova was up by 5 earlier. Phil Booth stripped in the lane. Plenty of time for the counter. Justin Jackson blocked on a great play by Hart.
Hart made a tremendous defensive play.
3 seconds. Booth at the buzzer. A big lift for Villanova.
That's a
tremendous play by Hart to set up the bucket by Booth.
4-point turnaround. That defensive play created a 4-point turnaround. I mean, right now, that would have been a whole different scenario. Watch the block right here. What a play this kid is. You can wear my uniform for me, Mr. Hart. And then they notice time coming down. This guy's got some toughness to him. Mr. Booth.
Big bucket at the buzzer. Very surprising the way that half transpired. North Carolina outscored in the paint 18-12. But thriving from beyond the 3.
Amazing. Think about they're the worst shooting 3-point team in the history of the university, and here they go 7 for 9. I think in a way that's a positive for Villanova because I don't think they can continue like that, Sean. It's amazing. But then their inside game. What a performance by Barry. There's Archie Diacono at 7 points early and then really didn't get on the board. But Barry was sensational that first half.
North Carolina team that averages more than 41 points per game in the paint had 12 in the first half, and yet they lead by 5. It'll be their ball to begin the second half.
Here's a stat for you, Sean. They're 10-1, North Carolina, when making 7 threes or more. The only one they lost was their last loss to Virginia. So making the 3 ball is a big plus for them.
And they have 7 already. There's Joel Berry, guarded by Ryan Arcidiacono. Tough catch, and Bryce Johnson couldn't field it. So it goes over to Villanova with Jalen Brunson, Ryan Arcidiacono, Chris Jenkins, Daniel Ochefu, and Josh Hart, the same 5 that started the game, beginning the second half.
Well, that was a poor entry right there. Had no angle whatsoever to make that pass.
Marcus Page was guarding Brunson. Chris Jenkins will try a very deep 3 that's short. Josh Hart, the offensive rebound. Jenkins not bashful, short again. And it ricocheted to Justin Jackson.
You know, Jackson played a real solid first half.
Joel Berry down the lane. Bryce Johnson, a nifty little floater.
He has that floater in the lane really well, but that was an excellent play by Berry, making that pass. Great vision. Found the open man, got it to Johnson, the All-American.
Well, Joel Berry's been the star of the night so far. Back to a 7-point lead, matching the largest of the night for North Carolina. Villanova's biggest advantage was 5, with just under 13 minutes left in the first half. Brunson is open for 3.
Big 3 right there by Brunson. You mentioned earlier his dad played in the NBA. Rick Brunson.
Johnson again in the middle of that lane. Kennedy Meeks called for a rebounding foul before the bucket by John Higgins. First foul on Meeks. First team foul of the second half.
We're going to take a look at Brunson right now. And kick the ball out. Hart kicks it to Brunson, the left-hander with the stroke. Big 3.
Brunson very well schooled by his dad. Jay Wright said Brunson and Ryan Arcidiacono were the 2 best prepared players ever to come into the program as freshmen. Jenkins all alone at the rim, missed it.
He made a great play to get to the basket and then an open layup, and he missed the layup.
Justin Jackson wide left from 3-point range. Josh Hart the rebound, and both teams a little bit slow to begin the second half.
See, I think North Carolina's going to start now pounding the ball inside. You know, they made those threes, but now you got to go inside, go to your strength. Meeks played on Ochefu, who wants the ball.
Josh Hart slammed the brakes on. Tough fadeaway with Bryce Johnson lunging at him at 6'10".
Not going to shoot the ball here tonight like they did against Oklahoma.
Tremendous performance Saturday night when Villanova shot better than 71% for the game.
Look at the mismatch right here. Look at Bryce Johnson being played on the inside. You got to get him the ball.
Yeah, Brunson was trying to guard him at 6'2½", giving away almost 8 inches.
So you got to recognize that as a team. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. A lot of mismatches because of the size differential.
Brunson, nice move, and he's fouled. A little head and shoulder fake, gave him a clear path to the bucket, and then they had to foul him to prevent the easy 2. Kennedy Meeks.
I'll tell you one thing, Sean, they use the head fake, shoulder fake better than any team I have seen this year. All their players do it. They catch the ball, they're in triple represent. Look at that little shake. Head fake, gets right to the goal, and there's Meeks with the foul.
Yeah, they gave it to Berry on the slap before Meeks hit him. First foul on Berry. Villanova misses another free throw.
That's so unusual. Second in the nation.
3 out of 5 from the line tonight.
Made 18 for 19 to beat Kansas and had to get all those to count.
Yeah, they made their last 8 in the final 33 seconds to cement that win over the #1 seed Kansas.
So I think Meeks is standing too much.
Bryce Johnson.
He's not standing. He's not standing. I look for him to have an explosive second half. I think they're going to pound the ball inside to him.
He has 4 points in the second half. He was mostly a bystander. Took just 3 shots in the first half. He takes more shots than anybody on the North Carolina team for the year.
See the ball fake? Great. They do a great job with that.
And the coaches felt Johnson in particular, if he was guarding Jenkins, was susceptible to the ball fake. 5-point lead for North Carolina, right where it was at halftime.
Look at Johnson sliding inside. They're going to the inside. We got to make that, Meeks.
Kennedy Meeks had it flying off his fingertips. And there's a foul, and I believe it's on Meeks. At least he's protesting most vehemently.
If it is, I think it's his third, is it not? Johnson, look at Johnson right now. Slides down to get in the defense, and there's the explosive bounce from the floor. Look at Page right now. There's Page finding his buddy. The 2 veteran players, the 2 leaders, the seniors. Inside, outside presence.
Foul on Meeks was his second. Villanova the edge and points in the paint.
That's
but
unusual.
North Carolina has made 3 more 3-point field goals than has Villanova. Ochefu trying to back in Kennedy Meeks. He's done that very well tonight.
Kept the spin foot down. I thought he was ready to walk.
Ochefu very effective Saturday night in the semifinals with 10 points and 6 rebounds, 3 assists in just 28 minutes. Justin Jackson fouled by Josh Hart.
Little bumps, man. They're going to blow that whistle.
Yeah, they're determined to be actively involved. First foul on Hart.
Going to watch Ochefu inside. Look at Ochefu right now. He's going to take Meeks, little head fake. Boy, he does that really well up and under.
From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Third time the men's Final Four has been played in this great city. Ryan Arcidiacono in the center of your screen, Dick. He hasn't taken a shot since 15:05 remained in the first half. He had 7 points in the first 4.5 minutes. They haven't been able to get him a shot.
They've done a great job keeping the ball away from him. He's had a tough time getting any open looks. He had 7 early, as you said, and since then he's been blanked. I'll tell you, guy that's got to get going. He's 1 for 4. Meeks has not been effective inside at all, and with that strength and body he has, he's got to be able to give him some points on the interior.
Bryce Johnson, first team All-American, fouled on a reach-in. Believe they're going to get Mikal Bridges from behind. They do.
I think I remember watching. I think you had a game where Bryce Johnson against Florida State went off for an incredible
39 points and 23 rebounds on a big Monday at Florida State.
That's a pretty good game. That's earning you a scholarship.
Good free throw shooter too. Didn't make that one, but he's better than 78% for the year.
Well, keep that in mind. If it comes down to the end of this game, Lloyd Williams' club, the advantage goes to Villanova.
But only a slight advantage, Dick, because North Carolina is a very good free throw shooting team too. They're in the top 30 in the country.
But Villanova is number 2 in the country. Has a big screen in the back. You got to communicate.
Arcidiacono scored in double figures in all 5 NCAA tournament games prior to tonight. Averages 12.5 per game for the year.
Joe Berry doing a great job on him defensively.
Hart, nice shot. He knew there were some big people between himself and the basket. Shot it high enough to score.
He is so tough when he gets the ball in the lane. He really knows how to score inside. A good balance. Oh, there's a hug right there. You're not going to get away with that. You watch Hart. Josh Hart is a star. He's a star, number 3. There he is right now in the lane. Pulls up. Has the great bounce off the floor. The good rotation. What I like about him, he's a two-way player. He's not just a guy that's going to score. He's going to defend. He's going to rebound.
Foul on Darrell Reynolds was his first. He's in to give Ochefu a brief breather. 5 minutes gone by, second half. Joel Berry, no. Boy, Hicks dying for that offensive rebound. Couldn't get it. Bridges blocked him off.
I got Hicks in for Meeks. Hicks has been one of the better premier players coming off the bench in college basketball. Very physical, very effective on the interior.
He was the 6th man of the year in the ACC. Isaiah Hicks, he'd start on most teams. Darrell Reynolds missed shooting over Hicks.
Page has got to get going. He's 1 for 4 as well. He's not looking for his shot.
A lot of interesting facets to this game. A lot of things that you wouldn't expect would have happened have. But we're not surprised. The end result is it's a very close game between these two teams who played brilliantly throughout the tournament. Offensive foul. Great defense by Arcidiacono, and Berry called for his second.
Well, see, that's what I like about the kid. Struggling offensively, but look at it. This is a leader. There's Arcidiacono, beats him to the spot.
I don't like how he...
Oh, he pushed off with the right hand. The right hand. I'm not convinced he beat him to the spot, but the right hand was the difference maker.
And Arcidiacono's played in more games for Villanova than any other player in their history.
It's amazing. Had back surgery his senior year in high school. Comes from Villanova. Middle of the year, named the captain.
Played 144 games. This will be his last. Dante Cunningham, who's in the NBA now, played in 139. From a Villanova family, both parents of Ryan Arcidiacono attended Nova. Chance to tie or take the lead. It's a tie. Little cut from the wing by Mikal Bridges.
You know, Bridges gets the score, but Arcidiacono created that play. Terrific bounce pass. Great vision. Good two-man play. Villanova not going to go away, man. That team is a good, solid, tenacious basketball team.
Nate Britt with a much bigger Ochefu on him. Archie Diacono called for the foul. His first.
Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Great eyes. Look at the vision. Look at the vision. He's waiting for him to go, and he drops it on a dime. Tremendous bounce pass for you young kids out there. Drop that baby on a dime.
Page is open off the quick hitter inbounding play. And then a rebounding foul as Britt was shoved out of the way by Mikal Bridges. And that is 4 personal fouls, 1 away from disqualification for Bridges.
He's a key player, too, a key component on that bench.
You know, they worked a lot on weak side rebounding, Dick, identifying the North Carolina player on the weak side and making sure you block him out, but you can't shove him out. And a turnover. Sloppy on the inbounding play. Page couldn't stay in bounds.
Well, blocking out is vital against North Carolina because they're such a tremendous offensive rebounding team.
10 turnovers. That's right on their season average with a long way to go against this excellent Villanova defensive team.
Trying to take the lead right here.
Phil Booth for the lead. Scores over Marcus Page.
They do a great job getting into that lane. All their players have ability to get into the lane and make that 15-foot shot. In fact, they lead the nation in shooting the 2.
Wow, what a bucket by Page. Hit the deck and still scored.
Well, you expect that from your senior, a leader. A guy that's been a super player there for 3 years, has struggled earlier this year. We got a good one, partner.
Tied at 46. Baby. 13 minutes to go.
Call all your friends up. We're in Canada, Italy, France. Call them up. Watch, it's going down to the wire for a title.
Long distance charges may apply. Booth, yes, Phil Booth.
Whoa, what a performance off the bench by Phil Booth. Picking up from that performance against Oklahoma, even though it was a rowdy head 10. Love it, baby, love it.
12 points for Booth. Britt shot it over his brother Chris Jenkins, and then after Booth corralled the rebound, Marcus Page called for a reach-in foul.
I think they're going for the 3 too much right now. There's Booth right now. Look, they love getting that lane. See, they love to get in that 3-second area. And then he came back with the big 3. Mr. Booth. Star could be born here for Villanova. A star could be born. The fans love it. Look at the fans jump with joy. Villanova.
Booth's 4 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line. He cannot miss tonight. He hit both of his threes last night against their Saturday night rather against Oklahoma. For some reason, I keep thinking the games were last night. They were unfortunately not long enough ago, with as dreadful as they were. But we're making up for it with this national championship game tonight. Villanova the ball in a 3-point lead, trying to win the 2nd men's basketball national championship in school history. It'll be the 20th in the history of Villanova University in all sports. They were a track and field and cross country power for many years. Ochefu in traffic, then another North Carolina foul.
I'll tell you what, you can feel Uncle Mo has really rotated over the Villanova side. There's the play, little physical play right here.
Kennedy Meeks called for the 3rd. The players and fans getting very frustrated. I mean, there's 12 minutes to go. It hasn't been a particularly physical game. North Carolina's 1 foul away from the bonus. And Villanova has committed 5 team fouls. So these officials are turning it into a free throw shooting contest. I think the fans would much prefer that they let them play a bit more.
Tell you one thing, North Carolina better start taking advantage of their size inside. If it had to happen, Meeks has got to be a little bit more active. Move too stationary.
Hicks stole the inbounds pass, buried the push, and fouled. Late whistle draws the ire of the Villanova fans, and you can just see the frustration on both sides. This one on Josh Hart.
Yeah, Josh Hart coming from behind. You're going to watch right here. That looked like he got mostly the ball right there.
That's why he was so. And you see how late the arm comes in the air from Terry Weimer. Timeout. Media timeout, 11:54 to go.
Well, look at Booth, little jumper in the lane. Then Booth says, I can also make the trifecta. Nothing but nylon. And the fans love it, baby. They love it. Want to win this game, Sean. National championship at stake.
Phil Booth had not scored in double figures in 10 straight games until Saturday night when he had 10 against Oklahoma. He has 12 tonight. His career high is 16 earlier this year against East Tennessee State, an unlikely star emerging in this Final Four for Villanova.
I think done a great job on Meeks. Meeks has got to try to get some points inside. Last two games, he was so effective here to beating him to the spot. He's got Jenkins on him right now. They really communicate well. You can see the communication by Villanova, giving help to one another. Berry has not scored.
Meeks, the tough shot, and a great offensive rebound by Isaiah Hicks, the junior from Oxford, North Carolina. Britt spinning in the lane, way off. Batted around. Meeks couldn't score, has it back. A whistle for a held ball, and it'll go over to the Villanova Wildcats.
Well, look at the frustration. He dropped his head. He gave a great effort, Kennedy Meeks. I mean, he battled the battle, and it wasn't to be made. Watch this right now. He's going to fight and scrap on the inside. Stays with it. Good defense right there by Jenkins.
North Carolina's a big edge on the glass, 24-15, the rebounding edge. Brunson stripped, and then Berry was out of bounds.
That rebound edge does not surprise me. What surprises me, them making the three they did, and the play of Booth off the bench has been a major surprise. 4 for 4.
Good hands by Britt there. Nearly took the ball back for the Tar Heels.
The tempo of this game, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. The tempo of this game favors Villanova. North Carolina wants to push and run the ball up the court.
And like Berry does just that all the way to the bucket. Missed the layup. Chris Jenkins the rebound.
And first half, all that was falling in. They haven't had many fast break opportunities. See right now, a lot of patience by Villanova. Take some time off that clock. That's not the style of play that Carolina wants. Shot clock coming all the way down.
Man, the baseline shot knocked by Chris Jenkins.
Jenkins is a winner. He's got to make big shots. That was perfect execution, Villanova style. Run the clock down, get the high percentage shot, and get the score.
Boy, another sloppy pass. They're lucky to get away with that. There he lobbed it into traffic for Hicks.
Tell you what, you being mild on that, sloppy. That was so unbelievably telegraphed.
8 empty trips in a row for North Carolina. 17-5 run for Jay Wright's Wildcats.
And that's unusual. North Carolina usually so efficient offensively.
Bryce Johnson, no. And now Villanova with a chance for its largest lead of the night. The 5-point edge matches its largest advantage with about 13 minutes to go in the first half.
Uncle Mo really on the side of Villanova right now.
Archie Diacono back on the score sheet.
That's a big one, baby. That's a big one. They love it. Archie Diacono. It's only a matter of time for him. If he gets open looks, he's going to make them.
His first shot since 15:05 remained in the first half, and now a scrum. Page kept it alive. Numbers underneath for Carolina. And Hicks the bucket.
I like Hicks. You can see why he was voted 6th man of the year. He's very offensively minded, very aggressive. We got a good one, buddy. This one's going to wire.
Booth shut off by Page. 10 to shoot. Archie Diacono.
Tell you what, he scores in bunches. Again, in that lane, they all like to drive and get into that 3-second area.
Now a Villanova foul as Page hit the deck. Archie Diacono had not scored since 15:29 remained in the first half. Now a couple of big buckets in quick succession.
Well, that's the big three. And then what they all do really well, a little spin, get into the lane, and a little 12-foot jump shot. Said it earlier, I'll say it again. They lead the nation in 2-point shots. Field goal percentage.
Arcidiacono, his second foul. It puts Villanova over the limit. 1-1, and Marcus Page makes the first.
Better than an 80% shooter for his career on the free throw line.
Makes both. 5-point game. Jay Wright, you would think Dick would keep Arcidiacono out till that under 8-minute media timeout and then put him back in for the duration. Brunson and Booth with Jenkins, Reynolds, and Hart for Villanova. And the bucket drops for Phil Booth, who cannot miss.
Tell you what a performance he's having. He's been absolutely brilliant here.
And the answer by Marcus Page from in front of his bench.
Big three. You expect that from the leader, the captain. Outstanding perimeter player, senior. Their interior guy, Mr. Johnson.
These two teams have dominated the opposition on the way to tonight's championship game, and as you might expect, they're locked in a titanic, close-knit struggle here.
Pick up your dribble, that's a no-no.
Under 8 minutes to go. The Villanova Wildcats trying to win their second national championship with another three from Jenkins and a 7-point lead.
I love the way he strokes the ball. Great rotation, tucks his elbow in. A terrific shooter. Terrific shooter.
Page.
Marcus Page really keeping him alive here.
13 points for Page. He scored the last 7 North Carolina points. There'll be a media timeout on the next whistle. Darrell Reynolds, the move underneath, short. And Kennedy Meeks, the big board for the Heels.
I get the ball right on the inside now.
Page, the lefty scoop. Meeks, no. Meeks fouled on the way back up as Chris Jenkins reached in.
That's been a frustrating game for Meeks, but the one thing about the kid, I will applaud, his effort is outstanding.
Third foul on Chris Jenkins. Meeks will be at the free throw line in a 5-point game with 7:02 to go when we come back.
There's Jenkins with the big three, and then Marcus Page answers. There he answers on a drive to the goal. 7 for 9 in the first half. Right now they're 1 for 4, which is more realistically when you look at their stats.
19-5 run for Villanova. Kennedy Meeks, the free throw shooter.
This game can come down to the free throw line.
He's 68% for the year for the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. The next North Carolina foul, both teams will be in the bonus.
Strong physical player. He's really played well the previous 2 games, 11 for 13. He's been a great partner inside for Bryce Johnson.
Double figures in each of the previous 3. 15 against Syracuse, 10 against Notre Dame, 15 against Indiana. A little pressure in the backcourt.
There's the matchup. Pressure on the ball. Berry, Arcidiacono. Interesting matchup. There's that ball fake again.
Chris Jenkins, wow.
That's 4, I think.
Offensive foul called as he slammed into Berry. No argument from Jay Wright. So Bridges is on the bench for Villanova with 4, and now Jenkins has 4.
He's got to take him out. He's got to take him out.
And he puts the other man with 4 fouls back in. And you can see Jay Wright saying he was fouled on the drive before that contact, and the Villanova coach may have a point. Neither side happy with the officiating. That's been clear throughout this second half.
Oh, let Meeks with a mismatch. See, you should have the ball right there.
Meeks still on the low post with Brunson guarding him.
Yeah, Brunson fighting him, but he's got to get the ball.
There is a 3. Off the mark from Page. Rebounded by Hart, who spins around and gets away.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't understand the logic. Meeks posted up inside. He's in front of him. They cannot play him in the area.
Arcidiacono for 3.
Oh, what a big one. That last possession, I don't blame a kid like Meeks being a little frustrated.
Meeks surrounded, off the mark. Pinson came swooping in. And a foul called. The officials conferring, two of them blew the whistle. I believe they have Pinson of North Carolina.
Look at Meeks inside. Look at a mismatch. Look at a mismatch. Watch right now. He's going to slide and want the ball. Look, look. He's going to get the ball right there. He's got to get the ball. Instead, they try a three. And Arcidiacono makes them pay. Squares the body. Nothing but nylon. What a leader. What a winner.
Foul on Pinson on the rebound, his second. And it sends Arcidiacono to the line. North Carolina now over the limit. Ryan, 83.3% for the season. 13 out of 14 in the NCAA tournament.
North Carolina, you don't want to see him on the free throw line. He's like automatic. So look at Jay Wright, Mr. GQ.
Two free throws. Largest lead for Villanova. 8 points with under 6 minutes to go.
What a great asset. Tempo, Villanova's way. They have taken North Carolina's running game and locked it up.
Marcus Page. No. Reynolds came over to defend. Out of bounds. Officials conferring. And I haven't seen a signal yet.
Well, Roy Williams is pointing that way. Villanova's
they
pointing
still
that
haven't
way.
decided.
There's only one guy going to count. Striped shirts.
And I believe it's going to be North Carolina ball. Whoa. And a slap by a North Carolina player, but it might have hit that Villanova player on the way out. It was on the ground. Anyway, it's history now. Berry. The pull-up. Booth, the rebound in traffic, and he gets hit by Justin Jackson, his first. Carolina's 8th, and Booth will go to the line. He hasn't missed a shot from anywhere tonight. 5 for 5 from the floor, including 2 out of 2 from behind the arc, and he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 86.6% for the year.
Tell you one thing, as hot as Joel Berry was in the first half, that's how cold he is here in the second half. And that's been a difference maker. And Booth certainly has been a player that's elevated his game on the big stage here. Free throw line, man. They can hurt you so big on a free throw line. That's been money for them. Just ask the Jayhawks of Kansas. It's one of the reasons they're not playing here. 18 for 19. 8 in a row at the end of the game.
Villanova has opened up a double-digit lead with 5.5 to go. A 7-0 run.
Danger time, baby. Danger time for the favorite North. Oh!
Ball out of bounds. Bridges, who has a knack for the steal. He had 5 of them in that big win against Kansas.
Tell you one thing's happening here, Sean. They're too stationary. There's not enough ball movement. There's not enough player movement. North Carolina, you could almost read their passes.
They're one of the highest scoring teams in the country, but they're playing a great defensive team in Villanova.
Villanova's not allowed more than 69 points in this tournament.
Bryce Johnson in his final game off the mark. He's had a relatively quiet night with 10 points.
It's been all Villanova here in the second half, defensively and offensively.
Under 5 minutes to go. Arcidiacono with 15 on the clock.
Smart. Great basketball IQ.
Lobs it underneath. Tough pass for Ochefu. Hicks. And a foul. Berry got hit. He'll go to the line.
Jay Wright not happy with Arcidiacono and that look inside. That pass was a bad play right there.
It's probably the 3rd time Jay's yelled at Ryan in 4 years.
He loves the kid. Says he's going to go down as one of the greats ever to wear a Villanova uniform.
Ryan Arcidiacono with 16 points tonight, over 1,600 for his career, 1604. He's moved past Javon Pinkston into the top 20 in scoring all time at Villanova. He's 4th in assists. Played more games than anybody. Only player at Villanova with more than 1,500 points and 500 assists in their illustrious history. Berry will shoot 2. It's now the double bonus. That was the 10th team foul.
There he is, gets his first point in the second half. Are you ready for this stat? 33-19 right now in the second half, Villanova. 19 to this offensive, explosive team, North Carolina.
Which averages 83 points per game. They're going to pick up the intensity, it looks like, in the backcourt pressure.
I think they're very tough to pressure. They handle the ball so well, Villanova. They spread the court. They take away double teams. And then if you foul, they're going to make their free throws.
4.5 minutes to go.
Using that shot, using that clock.
Hard blocked. Both Johnson and Hicks went up to contest it. Justin Jackson underneath. Hicks. And Johnson the dunk. The Carolina bench thought Hicks was fouled on the previous shot. They didn't get a whistle. But Johnson was there, and a timeout called by North Carolina.
Well, they like the result right there better, getting the offensive rebound. And that's their strength. Get on the glass. Offensively, utilize that size. There's the block shot. Look at the block shot right there. Well, from the help side. And on the other end, Jackson dumps it inside. Hicks can't.
Career for making big plays at the biggest moments. These will be the biggest 4 minutes and 11 seconds of his basketball life. That's how far he would be away from being a national champion if they can protect the 6-point lead.
Well, the 10-point lead has cut down to 6 now, 4 in a row by North Carolina.
Guarded by Joel Berry. The freshman Jalen Brunson and now Josh Hart. Ochefu and Booth. The rest of the fivesome from Coach Jay Wright trying to win his first national championship. Booth. First miss of the night. And corralled in the corner by Isaiah Hicks.
An outstanding defensive play again, like the previous possession with the block shot.
Berry open 3, and he cuts the deficit in half.
What a big 3 right there by Joel Berry. Remember, people, national title at stake, baby. Look at Roy Williams talking about animated.
They were down by 10. They've scored 7 in a row. The ACC regular season and tournament champs. Both of these teams were #1 in the country at one point during the regular season. Big possession for Nova. The freshman Brunson in trouble in the lane. 3 to shoot. Booth at the shot clock buzzer.
Oh, what a shot right there. You're talking about a big one, baby. What a big one. You know, Villanova has shot about 56% and North Carolina about 28% in the second half.
The 18 for Booth, his career high in the biggest game of his life. Page, no. Justin Jackson had good position, and he was upended by Ochefu, his second foul. 2 shots for Justin Jackson after immediate timeout.
What a big night for Mr. Booth, and it continues. And again, they like to get in that lane when they get that threesome right at the buzzer. What a tremendous play. What a tremendous play. They do a great job of spinning back at that shot. It's a night he will always treasure. 6 points a game.
Justin Jackson will shoot 2 free throws for North Carolina, his first 2 of the night. He was 4 for 4 Saturday night from the line against Syracuse.
Wow.
68% for the year from the native of the Houston area. Sophomore from Tomball, Texas. Missed them both.
That's 2 big misses. 5 down, less than 3 minutes on the clock. You got to convert there.
Ticking down to 2.5 minutes remaining in this national championship game. Villanova trying to win its second men's basketball national title. The other in 1985.
And the coach is sitting here, Rolly Massimino, behind the bench.
And nobody more anxious, undoubtedly, than Daddy Mass. Now in his 80s, still coaching at Northwood. Small school down in South Florida. Mike Fratello alongside Jay Wright's family. Sitting right in front of Coach Massimino.
Jenkins on the free throw line. Outstanding free throw shooter. And that's a strength of Villanova. Second best in America. Oh,
that one goes off. The foul was on Hicks, his 3rd. Next one against Carolina. Both teams will be in the double bonus, so we'll have 2 the rest of the way. Berry too strong. Ochefu another rebound.
That was a bad shot right there. Had no good look at the goal. Was caught up in the air. They're going to take the clock down. Manage the time. Essential. You don't want to go to a stall, but they're going to take the shot clock down. Get a good shot.
Hart fouled by Justin Jackson. So both teams are in the double bonus. 2 fouls on Jackson. And Hart will be the free throw shooter. And he's 75% for the year.
Nice diagonal pass. And there's the ball fake again. They utilize the ball and head fake better than any team I've seen this year. Jay Wright's got to feel good right now. You got to feel good. You're up 5. You got a good free throw shooter on the line. Playing great defense.
Hart has made 9 of his last 10 free throws. Misses the first of 2.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a little tension in some of these shots here down the stretch with the national championship on the line. Why wouldn't you be tense?
We're tense sitting here. Yeah. It's a great matchup. People out there, it's a lot at stake. It's such an unbelievable honor to be a national champ.
1 out of 2 for Hart. The lead 6 for Villanova. 1:50 to go.
So we expect Bryce Johnson to want the ball. Expect him to want it down on the inside.
He's at the free throw line and now screening up high. Ochefu switched out on Page. Page down the lane, blocked by Bridges.
What a tough defensive-minded team. Villanova is so tenacious on the defensive end. Just ask Kansas, just ask Oklahoma, and now ask North Carolina.
And we've seen it, Dick, throughout the tournament. They're so athletic at every position. They can switch and guard players of different size. Page, a 3. In the final game of his career. Trying to go out a national champion. And it's a 1-possession game again with 1.5 minutes to go.
I'll tell you one thing. Win or lose, this kid is playing his heart out. He really has been playing unbelievably hard. There he is, square in the body. And that's what he's done well throughout his career, except for a time this year. And he really struggled in the middle of the year. Found that stroke, came up with a big, big free. Keeps them alive. Minute 30 on the clock.
12 points in the half for Marcus Page. He's made 3 threes tonight. 298 for his career, the all-time leader in North Carolina history. Well, they've shot the 3-ball uncharacteristically well. They've actually matched Villanova, surpassed them from the 3-point arc, 9 threes to 7.
Whenever they've shot the 3-point shot well all year long, they're 10-1.
10 threes to 7 with the make by Page. Little pressure again, but not particularly active, just trying to delay the advance. Huge possession for Villanova. They came to double Arcidiacono. He whips it too high over the head of Ochefu. He thought it was deflected. John Higgins right there says no. And it's North Carolina ball down by 3 with 1:15 to go.
That's the second bad pass he's made in that situation. Where he gets doubled up. He tries to throw that lob to the inside. And that's the second one he's thrown away.
Ochefu was open, but he missed him much too high.
I'll tell you one thing, Ochefu really working hard trying to guard Johnson.
Bryce Johnson makes it a 1-point game as we tick down to 1 minute to go in a scintillating national championship game.
Isn't it amazing, though? The last couple of big plays, who made them? The veteran players, Page and Johnson. Listen to this place. It's erupted, man. What energy.
Villanova called the timeout. Carolina on a 12-3 run.
Page and Johnson answer the call here to get them back in this game. Page with a big 3, and now Johnson on the inside. And Ochefu really worked hard, but then he overplayed him right there. He spun back. Didn't get enough help on him.
Those two seniors will both have their number hanging from the rafters of the Dean Smith Center by virtue of their All-American status. Page last year, Bryce Johnson, first team All-American this year, the 17th in Carolina history. What a final minute this should be. Villanova led by 10 with 5.5 to go, and now it's nail-biting time.
You better believe they're biting nails all over. People watching down in Chapel Hill, people down on the main line. Here we go, Sean. National title at stake. See where they go right here.
10 to shoot, 40 in the regulation time. Phil Booth, it's been his night. He's in trouble. And a foul call on a reach in on Isaiah Hicks. Roy Williams irate on the Carolina bench.
He thought he had a violation there. Whoa.
Four fouls on Hicks.
Got bailed out here. He was in big trouble. Big trouble.
Crowd just saw the replay. Now they let Hicks get away with some bumping on the drive, but
I thought he walked.
Yep.
I thought he lifted that pivot foot.
Mike Stevens, the call, gave the signal that Hicks reached his arms down. 2 shots for Booth. They've missed 2 of their last 3 free throws. Not Booth.
What a night. What a night. Think he'll be big man on campus if they win this game? He's looking Rolly Massimino.
His disciple, Jay Wright. This is huge. 3-point game. 6 seconds difference between game and shot clock.
Got to run it up the court. Don't need a 3 right now. Got to take the first available shot. If it's a layup, take it.
And Page knows that he missed the layup. And it got ripped back.
What a
Marcus
play.
Page.
What a play by Page, the senior. Are you serious?
1-point game, 22 seconds to go. Carolina has to foul. They don't get Archie Diacono.
To spread the court.
They have to foul. 15 seconds, and finally.
Wow, finally.
They come and get Hart.
What an incredible play Page made in traffic.
He's
Unbelievable.
a little guy, 175 pounds. They say when your adrenaline's flowing, you can do almost anything that requires strength. And Page, after missing the wide open layup,
stayed with it. Stayed with it.
Ripped it back. Now Hart at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Now if you're Villanova and he converts here, you got to think seriously about not allowing him to shoot the 3.
Yep, that's the age-old question. Do you foul ahead by 3? Most coaches don't like to do it until the clock is down under 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I would say. You take some time, a little defense here, making tight time off the clock.
And Jay Wright wants to discuss that scenario with his assistants, Baker Dunleavy, Ashley Howard, Kyle Neptune, George Halkovich, all around that huddle.
It's been great, man, sitting next to you here for a game of this quality.
No, it's a great sport, and we're blessed to be here. And these 2 schools, after a dreadful, in all candor, national semifinal doubleheader Saturday night, have more than made up for it. Both national championship caliber. These are 2 outstanding teams. Either one, whichever wins, is going to be a very worthy national champion.
Well, 2 teams, really the hottest 2 teams in America playing right now. Villanova, scenario. Interesting to see how they play this. On the other side, North Carolina, you think about the 3 ball. If they're going to shoot the 3 ball, the guy you think they'd want to shoot it is Page.
Joel Berry, also 37% from the arc. And we'll see if Jay Wright, if the clock does tick down toward the end, elects to foul. You want to be careful you don't shoot somebody shooting. A 3-point shot. Berry. Page stuck in the air. Let it go. Unbelievable. The officials conferring.
Just an incredible moment. Marcus Page, you're talking about rising to the occasion.
Timeout Villanova, its last. This team so heavily criticized all year long, North Carolina. Roy Williams said he's never had a more criticized championship team, and Marcus Page bore the brunt of it. But boy, has he rallied at the end of his career. In the air, acrobatic 3. They're checking the clock. No doubt it was a 3. Well, they are checking to see it. They'll put a little time back on for Villanova.
They better not celebrate now. There's a lot of time on the clock. But you're right. That was not a legitimate threat. He was acrobatic. He was showing the way his body was going. Unbelievable.
I don't think there's ever been a player, Michael Jordan loves it, who Roy Williams has appreciated more than Marcus Page. Gave a very emotional speech at senior night. At his last home game, expressed his affection for his coach, who is easily moved to tears by his own admission, but Roy Williams really choked up. Marcus Page, great student, outstanding citizen, and a great Tar Heel player. He has 17 this half to lead the way back from 10 points down with 5.5 to go, but still time to win it for Ryan Arcidiacono and Villanova. What do they do?
Well, right now you got to be very careful, North Carolina. You don't want to foul here. You don't want to foul. And I'll tell you this. Go to overtime, you would definitely think edge goes to North Carolina.
No doubt. With the momentum on their side, they're going to pressure in the backcourt. They have to be careful not to foul.
Absolutely.
And send them to the line.
Take some time off the clock with a little pressure.
Roy Williams still coaching. There's a wet spot on the court, just to allow the tension to build for another moment.
Talk about drama. Talk about a dramatic moment. Talk about a young player. Other than that three, he made the three from the baseline, and that offensive rebound was incredible.
Daniel Chefu helping with the mop. He wants to get going here. Tied at 74. Plenty of time with 4.7 on the clock.
You know, people out there, obviously many know, the clock does not start until the ball is touched on the floor.
They have to get it in with no timeouts. They do. Arcidiacono off to Jenkins for the win! National championship for Villanova!
They got to check the officials have to check this to make sure that's part of their responsibility.
I don't think there was any doubt. It was before the buzzer. They will check it.
Incredible shot by Jenkins. Great shooter.
The basket counts. Villanova has won its second national championship in men's basketball. The first one considered perhaps the greatest upset in college basketball championship game history, engineered by that man. And now a man he loves like a son, Jay Wright, his longtime assistant, wins one of the most dramatic games in the history of college athletics on a three by Chris Jenkins.
Wow, talk about a big moment responding. There it is, Mr. Jenkins. The celebrations beginning down on the main line. Down in Philadelphia, there it is. Oh, baby, will that go down in the annals of Villanova basketball.
Well, they've won two of them, and they're two of the most dramatic of all time. Chris Jenkins, elated. And on the other side, his brother, Nate Britt for North Carolina, with as heartbreaking a defeat as you can have, rallying from 10 down.
10 down late. Great effort by Marcus Page to tie the game. But they answer the call, Villanova. Look at this. Look at the emotion. Look at the emotion. Oh, you can feel.
Well, so much angst. Villanova fans right over the team right over in front of us, saluting their fans. They were a highly seeded team, Dick. The last 2 years, they were a 1 seed and a 2 seed. The previous 2 NCAA tournaments didn't make it out of the first weekend.
Right.
Jay Wright took a lot of heat, as did these players.
Well, 6 years in a row they didn't get out of the first weekend. Last time they got out of it was 2009, and they were in the Final Four.
And they lost to North Carolina in the national semifinals.
What a magical moment for these kids. Never, ever, ever will they forget this magical moment. Kisses, hugs. They beat an outstanding North Carolina team, an elite team.
His guardians, his parents, will experience both ends of the spectrum, congratulating, as you saw, one son while having to console the other in Nate Britt. Arcidiacono so poised. I think, Dick, he understands. It was almost 5 seconds. That's a lot of time.
Right.
A lot of players wouldn't have dribbled that much.
They would have panicked. Let the ball fly, crazy shots. That's that leadership of it. Look at the celebration. Look at the hugs. Oh, my God. Screaming, oh. National champs, Villanova.
Chris Jenkins, his name will live in college basketball lore, particularly at Villanova University, forever. And Ryan Arcidiacono with an incredible ending to a distinguished career.
Go down as one of the greats ever to wear the uniform. Look at Rolly Massimino, who pitched a perfect game in '85 to be the great Georgetown team. And now the second national title.
Such a strange game. Who would have thought North Carolina would make 11 threes and lose? Have 3 more threes than Villanova had, although the last one was the most important one, obviously. Villanova actually outscored North Carolina in the paint 32-26.
Hugs all over.
And tears of joy.
Tears of joy, jubilant. A lot of sweat, a lot of tough hours. Only one team can stand tall in Division I as a national champ, and that honor belongs to Villanova, the Wildcats.
First buzzer-beating basket in a national title game since your friend and mine, the late great Jim Valvano, beat Houston with North Carolina State in 1983 and took the memorable lap around the court looking for a hug. Jay Wright didn't have to go far to hug his wife Patty. Ryan Arcidiacono from a Villanova family. Jenkins' mom. And Bryce Johnson with one of the great seasons in North Carolina history. And that's not an overstatement with all the great players they've had. Only 3 men in the history of that school have had a double-double for the year and shot over 60%. The other 2, Mitch Kupchak and Bobby Jones, were legends at North Carolina. But in the end, it was Villanova's night and Villanova's season.
One of the biggest plays in this game was halftime. Them scoring at halftime.
A great point.
And that turnaround. That was a major, major play. Gave them a little momentum because North Carolina was in control at that time.
Jay Wright's never had a player he appreciates more than Arcidiacono. Darrell Reynolds. You have to be happy for Jay, Dick. He is one of the all-time good guys in this or any sport, and his coaching a huge part of. Dramatic ending just moments ago here at NRG Stadium in Houston. Villanova, the college basketball national championship winner of 2016 in unbelievable fashion. They blew a 10-point lead with 5.5 to go. Marcus Page, a heroic bucket with under 5 seconds remaining for North Carolina to set up the heroics of Jenkins. And we talked about it Saturday night, Dick. When Jay Wright first got there as the head coach, they didn't have some great moments. Some called him Jay Wrong. He is a tremendous coach. They won the National Coach of the Year award yesterday and proved why he was worthy of it with this performance throughout the entire tournament.
He's so likable by everyone. He's got a heart of gold. I know he's helped us a great deal raising money for kids battling cancer. He's just a generous guy, just a superhuman being.
Wonderful family guy from the Philadelphia area, loves Villanova. He is the right man at the right time for the Nova Cats. And the celebration will go all night and then some in the city of brotherly love and on the main line suburbs where the beautiful Villanova campus is located just outside the city of Philadelphia. Well, it's been a wild celebration, but now they're on the platform. Here's Jim Nance.
Houston, Texas. All of you here, over 70,000, you've just witnessed one of the greatest championship games in the history of the sport. And Villanova is your national champion. And it's time for the presentation of the trophy. The chair of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Committee, Joe Castiglione, is here, and the president of the NCAA, Dr. Mark Emmert, for the presentation.
Well, first of all, I'd like everyone here to congratulate the University of North Carolina on a spectacular championship game. But Joe Castiglione will now present the trophy to the new national champions, the Villanova Wildcats.
Jay, let's sneak in over here. We got Jay right here, folks. I don't know when it really truly sinks in. We saw your reaction at first. It looked like you weren't even sure what had happened. It was a moment of days, a moment that's going to live with you forever. Tell me about it.
I can't wait to see that look, because I was just shocked, and they did it. Ryan Arcidiacono made a great look. Chris Jenkins has been incredible all year, and we got to first give credit to North Carolina. We beat a class program, great coach, and a great team, and we have great respect for North Carolina.
That timeout with 4.7 seconds to go. You had just seen Marcus Page hit a remarkable tying three. What did you tell your team, and what did you try to set up there?
That's we have an end of a game situation play like that. We put it in Arch's hands. It's Arch's job to make the decision. Chris told him he was going to be open. Arch made the perfect pass, and Chris Jenkins lives for that moment.
Well, I got to tell you, Chris Jenkins is going to live the rest of his life as a folk hero in the Final Four. Tell me about that shot.
Well, I inbounded the ball to Ryan, and I was able to sprint up the court and get in his vision, and I was like, Ryan. And like Coach said, he made the perfect pass, and every time I 1-2 step, it's definitely going up. So that one was going up.
Did you know when it left your hand that it was good?
I think every shot's going in, so that one was no different.
and Ryan, what a way to close out your remarkable career.
It's an unbelievable way to go out. My teammates, we just fought. At halftime, we didn't say we played 20 minutes of Villanova basketball, and I think in the second half we just fought. Just were able to make the plays at the end of the game, and just love this team.
You grew up as a kid, absolutely a Villanova kid your whole life. It's in your family, your mom and dad, Villanova graduates. And then for your career to end with a national championship at the buzzer. How do you put this one into words?
That's just something every kid dreams about, and every kid dreams about that shot. I wanted that shot, but I just had confidence in my teammates, and Chris was able to knock down the shot. But it's just an unbelievable career just to know how much we fought throughout this season and this game.
Guys, I'm looking down here, Josh Hart, all the team that really pitched in. Everyone on this team, the coach will tell you, had something to do with it. Congratulations, Josh.
Thank you, man. You know, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, first and foremost, for giving us all this opportunity, man. But this team just worked so hard. We genuinely love each other. We don't care who gets the credit. Man, this team is just special. This is a special team, man.
There's a special guy right here, too.
Hey, Dio, I see you, boy.
Daniel Ochefu, you've got the championship trophy in your hands. And you know, when people really want to talk about college basketball and it's all about one and done and all of this, tonight this floor was really packed with upperclassmen when you looked at the 10 starters. And you guys, you're a senior, Arch is a senior, and you guys worked 4 years to build up to this very moment to win a championship.
It's just amazing, man. All the work we put in, all our guys that were here with us before, you know, man, dreams have come true tonight. And, you know, Just want to thank God, our families, our coaches, all our teammates that were with us before. We play for those that came before us, baby. Go Cats! Go Cats! Yes, sir.
Folks, there they are. We're going to come back. Ernie Johnson, one shining moment. You guys have some nets to tear down. You guys have won the national championship with one of the epic finishes you'll ever see. Here it is. It'll live in history forever. Jenkins, the winner at the buzzer, and Villanova is the 2016 national champion.
Wow. Still hard, Dick, to wrap your mind around it. Just an unbelievable finish to a classic between two great teams. I mean, they were the two deserving teams to play in this title game without any question. And Jay Wright, in the end, they had the ball last and they made the play. Ryan Arcidiacono just announced as the most outstanding player of the Final Four.
Tell you, Sean, just shows the spirit, the passion, the excitement of college basketball. You know, the NBA, you got 4 out of 7. Here, one shining moment, one moment. What joy and jubilation, and an absolute spectacular, spectacular game.
Marcus Page with the amazing three to the delight of Michael Jordan and the Tar Heel faithful, where they left 4.7 on the clock. And Chris Jenkins, as Jim Nantz said, will be part of the folklore of college basketball forever.
Jenkins will go down in the annals of Villanova as a superstar. Great being with you, Sean. It was
Great being with you, Dick. For Dick Vitale, our tremendous crew, led by our producer, Eric Mosley, and our director, Brian Lilly. Sean McDonough saying good night from Houston.